Hello, this is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose Dylan, Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, or iHeartRadio. This is Dylan Miller on Daily Dose Dylan. Alright, don't have a lot of stuff today, but it's a podcast, which is something I don't do a lot, as you know. At least during the school year. Over the summer, I think I'm pretty consistent, but I actually am going to talk a little more, I'm going to highlight a little more about basketball. A lot of Nets. I talked today. Well, not a lot, but most of what I have today is going to be about the Nets. Kyrie was just suspended for 5 games, I believe. Yeah, 5 games for failure to disavow anti-Semitism. Okay, so I'll talk about that later on. So the Phillies got no hit by the Astros. The Astros are evening the series. I don't know how. I mean, I give credit to the Astros because they managed to, bounce back after getting crushed and shut out. And giving up 5 homers. They bounced back to shut them out. I feel like the Phillies, they went from hitting everything out of the ballpark to not hitting at all. They're the first team to go from hitting 5+ homers to not getting a hit at all the next game. And because of the history baseball has, if you're the first team to do something, it's either amazing or it's awful. Like Bonds was the first person to hit over 70 homers. That was amazing. When Judge broke the record for most consecutive games with a strikeout, that wasn't very good. But that's how baseball works, really, because of the history behind it. But I think I have a solid argument for saying this Game 5, that's actually going on as we speak, I could argue, I have a solid argument that it's a must to win for the Phillies. Because the next 2 games, after Game 5, Game 6, and if necessary, Game 7, they're at Houston. So if they go down 3-2 going into Houston, they'd have to win back-to-back games in order to win it all. That there's not a very good chance of that happening. But if they win this game and shift the momentum back to their side, then they're in a good spot. Because I think if they have the momentum going into Game 6, they have a good chance at winning Game 6 and closing the series out. I just think they've lost momentum at this point, and the only way to gain it back would be to win tonight. They already got out to an early lead. Schwarber hit a homer just now in the first inning. So they're off to an early lead. That's a good start. But I think they got to win tonight. If they lose tonight, I'm giving the series to the Astros. If not, I think I said Phillies in 6 yesterday. But that was the earliest prediction I can give you guys. So I think Phillies in 6 still. I think they will win tonight. Again, if not, I think probably Astros in 6, because that's a big loss. You were up 2-1, then you lost 2 straight, and now you're going to Houston. Like that's gonna break you pretty quickly. Alright, so the Nets, moving on to some basketball talk, the Nets are now 2-6. It's crazy how just like was it 2 years ago? Just 2 years ago, It was all, Nets, Lakers, Clippers, Kawhi, PG, LeBron, AD, Kyrie, KD. It was all like, this is going to be a great era of the NBA, and now it's just the Lakers are in a rough spot. The Nets are just terrible. The Lakers are looking up. They won their last. They've been better with Westbrook on the bench. I think that's what it boils down to. Westbrook as a bench player, I think, is more effective at his age right now. And they have won their last 2 games. I mean, they barely got by yesterday, but they got by nonetheless. Who do they got next? They have the Jazz. Okay, they have the Jazz next. That's a tough one. If they win that game, I think they're in a really good spot. Honestly, as far as LeBron goes, I think it's just, I don't think he's going to be able, at least if he stays on the Lakers, I don't know. But if he stays on the Lakers, I don't see him winning another ring. But maybe he could maybe he can break the record. I think that's what he's focused on, honestly. I think he's focused on breaking the scoring record, because that's a big, if he gets that, I don't think there's a stat on earth that he doesn't really have. He's already top 10 in assists as well. So if he's the scoring champion, he's broken a lot of playoff records. I think he has the most steals, career playoff steal. He's got a lot of playoff records broken. I'm not going to get in on this GOAT debate and all that. I don't think there's any reason for that, but I think he will officially cement his legacy as a top 2 player ever. Because there are still people that will argue Kobe once in a while. I personally don't agree with that. I think MJ and LeBron are cemented as the 2 best. But I think if LeBron gets at the top of the scoring list, you have to consider him top 2. Right up there with MJ. I don't know. I don't have a prediction of when he's going to break it. But yeah, the Lakers and Nets, crazy how hyped up they were and now how bad they are. And I've said it before, I'll say it again. I don't know what the hell KD was thinking when he left Steph Curry, who won a championship last year. I talked about how that was a bad look. He ditched him for Kyrie. And I'm going to briefly talk about the anti-Semitic remarks that he's being disciplined for. I don't like talking about those kind of problems on the show because it's a sports. I know it's something related to sports, but I don't really like talking like politics and sports and stuff like that. It's just out of my area of expertise. I think Kyrie's biggest problem is not taking accountability. It's been that for a while. He did say a few months ago that Cleveland was his fault, but I think it would have helped if he had that kind of accountability years ago. Would have been much better. And I get it. He wanted to chat. He wanted to see. He felt he could be a leader. But then, my problem is, when he clearly wasn't a leader, when he failed miserably, with the Celtics, he didn't really say much about that. He just went and joined the Nets with KD, and both KD and Kyrie haven't really been established leaders. You know, Cleveland only worked when LeBron was there. That is the only time Cleveland worked. And I get it, he was a younger player, but like, you know, you tried being a leader twice. Once when you were much younger and still developing, and then another time when you were developed. You were established. People did look at you as a great player in the league. You know? You know, and he went to the Celtics and failed, and they were better without him. They made the Eastern Conference Finals without him and took the Cavs to Game 7. With him, they were much worse. You know, so he failed as a leader, and he didn't really say much about that. Up until, like, now. I think accountability is his biggest problem so far. You know, Nash was fired a few days ago. I think that was a good day for Nash, like I said yesterday. I don't think he enjoyed it there at all. He seemed exhausted. You know, like, I don't think he had a fun time in Brooklyn. Of course, all of them were excited at the start, you know, and, you know, Brooklyn, they're just, I mean, even going into this year, they were still high title favorites. You know, coming into this year, but I know we're in 8 of 82 games, and you can't really judge a team too quickly, but if I had to judge a team too quickly, it would be the Nets right now, because it's actually similar to what the Packers are going through right now, and, you know, they've been a top team for a bit. The Packers have probably been more successful because they've actually made it to the NFC Championship. But the thing is, both teams should be getting to the finals or Super Bowl, and they're not. You know, they have the talent to, but they're just not getting there. You know, and now this year, it just seems like it's all going downhill. You know, and it's worse for the Packers because they're in 8 of 16 games. They don't really have much time to fix it. And the Nets, they have time, but I don't know if they can. I don't think this is a fixable situation. You know, they're just not deep enough. They spent too much of that on James Harden, who was good for like a few weeks. They traded away their future for a few weeks of good basketball. You know, you know, and Ben Simmons, I don't see him helping them at all, honestly. He has never in his life looked confident in his jumper. Never. He's always looked like he struggles shooting. He's gotten a little better, but he's still not good. So I can't believe in the Nets right now. I can't believe in them as a championship contender. All right, so it may seem short, only 15 minutes, but that is all I have for today. I am really not sure if I'll be able to get in one tomorrow. Probably not. That would be my guess. But like I said, over maybe next week, I might be able to get some podcasts in. And As I've said for a while now, if I can, I will. When I feel I have the time to, I will get on here and I will, do what I do. But it's hard to, get that time. I mean, I said this yesterday, last year, last year was really just November. It was right now, a few weeks in November, that I was free to do this, and then it wasn't until like April that I was free again for like a week, and then after that it wasn't until the summer. So I'll get in as much as I can. That's what this all boils down to. So alright, this is Dylan Miller, Daily Dose Dylan. Google Podcast, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio. Still Miller, Daily Dose Dylan. Have a good day. I will see you tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then probably Monday of next week. Have a good one.